Yeah, buddy. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Childish back at it again. We're giving you that post rune removal update so y'all can get a feel of what's been changing. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I generally do a unit and rune showcase once a month, and it's generally after the rune removal day, so people can see where everything is, kind of mixed up, and see the progression and see what I'm trying to do. Unfortunately, I say fortunately, but unfortunately, right? I had my baby shower, or my wife's baby shower was this weekend, so we had a lot of things going on. Didn't really get an opportunity to do all too much. By the time I got around to making some changes, it was like 11:30 p.m. my time. So, yeah, and it kind of sucks because while 2 hours is more than enough to make the adjustments that you need to do if you kind of plan accordingly, for me it's all about experimenting, guys, taking the opportunity and time to test different things out, test the synergy out. You got a couple guild wars going on, you got plenty of arena wings going on. That day is just about experimentation, see what works or doesn't work, so you can make the improvements that you need to succeed. So I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the few changes that I make. Not a lot, because generally I make them as I go. Actually, no changes on Megan. I'd say about 2 weeks back, I put her or maybe 3 weeks back, I put her from a Swift Will to a Violent Broken with the same thing, speed, hit point, accuracy, just because I wanted to get that buff removal, as well as her buff, spell strengthening up as much as possible. No changes here. The last update that we had was getting this rune. This was the first upgraded rune for the unit in the last 4 months. Everything else has been the same. Nothing's changed. Would love to get a little bit more speed on the speed substats here, but don't want to break up my ability to counterattack and get myself the permanent swift buff, considering I do have a lot of critical rate on that, so that speed buff is always up. Went back and forth about Sigmaris. If you guys saw, for a little bit, he didn't have any crit damage because he was just using some random runes. I took some of his main runes to try to incorporate in my team, my Necropolis team. But after this rune removal, I was able to make some adjustments so that I can get him back on there. He is a unit that I use every so often to go ahead and just kind of help out with Giants B10. I got a team that I use, more of a yellow team that you've seen before. Theo, Veramos, Devolution, and Bernard. And that works well, but every so often I get discouraged because I have this random WTF like die, so I'm like, oh, let me just bring in a different team with a little bit more, just as much damage, but a little bit more self-sustain, a little bit more mitigation and whatnot. So let's see. Tyron, nope, no changes here. He's a Despair Broken unit, speed, crit damage, attack, and again, I'm using him as a very, very fast but effective damage dealer. So overall, like where he is. Orion, no changes at all. Still Violent Broken, speed, defense, and HP. And take a note that even though it's defense, you can go HP. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it just kind of comes down to the subsets that you want. Sitting at 213 speed with 62 accuracy without the accuracy rune on the 6 slots. So I like it. Obviously, my goal is to improve. No changes on the Violent Revenge. That has always been the same. Attack, crit damage, attack with the 45 speed coming from the substats. And then we've just recently seen Chilling, and we've seen Hua, because if you guys saw the unit showcase yesterday with the update for Necropolis from Chilling, you saw these particular units here. But attack, crit damage, HP on this particular unit. And then we got Chilling. We got attack, crit damage, attack. Okay, again, I have too many support units on my Necropolis team, so trying to get a little more DPS while I can on that particular unit. So we're dusting off Draco here. We're trying to bring him back to the mids, a little bit lower HP than he generally has, because some of my better runes are on Brienne, and so we want to go ahead and use. I got a couple of comments about different compositions to use in my Guild Wars, and I'm gonna make a video, an FAQ video, talking about some of the questions and concerns that I get from my fans. But the big thing is, guys, one of the things that has to be addressed is I had one guy comment. I'm definitely you know, I like what you do, but I'm definitely getting tired of seeing the same, you know, team and whatnot. And generally, when I make Guild Wars fights, I generally try to um, post the more interesting fights, or the fights that are in the later stages of the week where we're sitting there, you know, fighting for top 10. Speaking of which, congratulations on Epic Fail Alpha getting the top 10 rank this week at rank number 9. You know, I'm trying to fight for the top 10, and unfortunately, because we are fighting the top 10 guilds, you know, constantly, we have to, um, you know, take the teams, you know, the best teams with the best runes and whatnot, and take those into the situation. The cool thing about my scenario is that I have, you know, I have a particular team. I have a particular team that I have two particular teams. Basically, my Guild War defenses. Those two teams are generally teams that I can use in any situation. There's rarely a situation where I can't be, you know, I can't be utilized. So let me see here. We'll go ahead and come back to that one. But yeah, after we get it done, it'll be at 194 speed. So I think it's gonna be okay for, um, you know, for Guild Wars. You know, obviously I would like a little bit more HP, but you know, we'll make it do what it do. No changes on Leica. He's still violent broken, sitting at the same speed as Theomars, but Theomar is going first. You know, according to the way I have it set up. So Vanessa, no changes there. Still rocking the HP across the board. Recently, seen about a week ago, our one of our Guardian 3 players, Foi. You might have seen him with his recent change name, What the Foi. He was able to incorporate a hybrid kind of a Vanessa with like 31, 32k, anywhere from like 1200 to attack, and then like 70 crit rate, 140 some crit damage. So pretty darn cool. I'm super excited. Shiwa, we already checked out. The biggest change, probably, you know, since we, you know, went ahead and did something here, was taking my two Lucians to the plus 44 range. Now this one here, I just recently put this one in, but I had this Swift rune here, plus 10. So as you see right here, like this one's 44. This one should have been 44, but I'm using this rune for the time being. I'm probably gonna swap it out, but you know, plus 5 speed. They're pretty darn close. So hopefully I can find another rune to do it. Overall, I'm happy with the critical rate. I do want to see a little bit improvement on the critical damage, but as you guys might have guessed, I'm trying to get myself a little bit more speedier Lucians, but I'm trying to do it without going speed on 2. I see a lot of people do the speed on 2, and while I like it, it gets, you know, the job done. I still need to get some, you know, damage, and so my unit that's skilled out is definitely hitting pretty hard where I want it to be. But of course, the unit that is not, I haven't summoned a lot of extra fodder to skill them up here with. So hopefully I can, you know, get that done and get the chance. But at the end of the day, it seems that the cards, the amount of damage I do on the cards, still does a relatively good job. The cool thing about this particular setup, guys, is now because I don't have a scenario where I can use Clara effectively in Guild Wars or Arena without some type of attack bar booster like a Draco or some kind of shielder with a Chloe. It allowed me to go ahead and use the Despair runes on Lucian and make them a little bit faster, so I can take advantage of some of the free wings that we get throughout the middle of the week with the teams that are very exploitable. And for whatever reason, if I don't do enough damage, right, if I only do anywhere from, you know, 35 to 36k AoE between both Lucians, and it's not enough to get the job done, I generally, the ones that I don't kill, they'll be stunned due to the despair effect of it. So it's kind of nice because if I don't kill them, you know, chances are 1 or 2 of those units will be stunned, and I'll still be able to get the jump on them for the next round and get them done. No changes on Miss Violent Will Delphoy. You know, obviously I would love more hit points. Rock on speed, HP on her. Still no changes on Chasun. I've been looking at a lot of Chasuns over the course of my time, and I'm trying to get it to where I can have a little bit higher speed. So, you know, of course, when I can improve her speed, I can improve the rest of my damages dealer speed, because I want to. She's part of my arena defense, so I want to make sure that you know, my synergy. I want to improve my units, but I want to you know, improve the synergy as well. That's a very common mistake, guys, that a lot of people make. They go out of their way to test out things, and they look at their units and they're like, okay, well, how does this, you know, variation look? How does this variation look? While it may look good on paper, it might look good, you know, up in front. If a unit gets improved with the runes, but then your synergy, you know, goes to crap, then the changes that are made are no good. You need to be able to improve the synergy, the units, but you need to be able to keep the synergy that you have. So, you know, if you've taken a look at my units over the course, I mean, I know that the Kung Fu Girl is not Rune, but all of my damage dealers are sitting at around that 145 to 150 range. This one I just recently improved to 155, but he is normally 145. So let's take a look. I think that was pretty much it. Brienne here, I am doing a little bit different just for TOA hard, getting a little bit more speed in here. Hit points are still good, 40k, but I have 186 speed, so that's really fun to have a speedier Brienne, especially if you have some way of manipulating the attack bar. You know, for TOA, definitely good stuff. Let's see. I'm looking around. I went ahead and stripped Corona. Corona is a great unit, but right now still doing too much testing, and I find that Draco is gonna provide me with a little bit more ways of providing you know, successful Guild Wars wins with regards to what he brings to the table, and it will allow me to increase my variety of units. You know, when I go into the Guild Wars. No changes to Vermo, still speed HP, Violent Nemesis. And then Julton, recent change, trying to improve the speed on some particular units here to play around. Violent Guard, you know, HP. Yeah, overall not too bad. Obviously, I'd like to improve the accuracy a little bit. Critical rate might be nice, but at the end of the day, it's all good. It still gets the job done. Swapped out a couple of runes here. We were initially going HP across the board, but now it's HP defense, just because of this accuracy subset here. Obviously, if I'm using this particular unit, I use it a lot on the boss, on TOA hard. If I'm forcing the provoke, it's not going to hurt me to have a little bit of defense on this unit, just to, you know, withstand the hits, in combination with like a Brienne, you know, providing the attack buff or whatnot. So it's all good. Lynette was stripped because now we got Shiwa and Chilling, so she has lost her spot and now is, you know, getting replaced. Hua might get 6-starred in the future so that I can use my main Hua for back in Guild Wars. Right now, since I don't have a team, I have one composition that I use Hua for, but it's more of a YOLO comp. We're going to just use Hua for Necropolis right now, help me, you know, farm up some runes, save up, and then when I later on down the road, when I get a lot of fodder, then I'll go ahead and make her a priority and get her 6-stars. So yeah, other than that, guys, that is pretty much it. No other additional projects. Well, hopefully I'll be basically spending this week farming giants. I really need a lot more plus 20 speed runes. I have no plus 20 speed runes. All my swift runes are anywhere from, with speed on them, substats are anywhere from 11 to 14 or something like that. So a whole lot of improvement. Bernard is going to be a little bit of a project for me, trying to get him from 230 to 250, hopefully more. But the goal right now is just to get him to 250. You know, the quick arena kills with Bernard, Megan, and the double Lucian. Lucians are not where they need to be speed-wise to be involved with, you know, to make it work with regards to Bernard. If I do get the opportunity to do that, then I can re-rune Corona, so I can take advantage of the attack buff and the critical rate. But for now, I'll take advantage of Megan, who's already, you know, runed up, and get myself, you know, the attack buff, in addition to having a little bit more of a attack bar boost. So both setups are nice, but obviously I would like the opportunity to critically hit every time. Both of my units are at 70% crit rate, so having the critical buff will put me at 100% and guarantee myself some good damage. Overall, that's pretty much it, guys. Try to keep it as quick as possible. I know we got a lot of units to show. Just stay tuned for more fights, more good content. Hopefully you enjoy this stuff. And then, of course, you know, anyone that is, you know, looking to, you know, provide the insight to something that they want me to see me try or whatnot. I know that I've got a couple of comments to mix up some of my Guild Wars teams. I actually do a lot of mixing up. I just don't record them because they're generally fights that I do in the early Guild Wars week. You know, a lot of teams that I just kind of mix up for fun. But again, the reason why I'm allowed to mix them up is because, one, we've either killed everybody and I'm just testing different comps, or they're just easier targets and it's not really enjoyable to watch. I want to give you guys something you know, good to watch. Some fighters that are you know, really hard to take down. So Yep. Yeah, buddy. I believe that's it. I believe that's it. All right. I am done. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Childish, ChildishPlays checking out. We will see you in the next video. I'm out.